Good morning. There are so many different misconceptions that are derived from the word failure. In the quote stated by Harvey Mackay, "Failure is an attitude, not an outcome," applies to my own story and how it made me reflect upon the word failure. In my own experience, my burning desire to succeed in trade school ultimately led me to that mindset of failure, but then ended up resulting in the value of my experiences and lessons that I gained from it. To start from the beginning, in my sophomore year, I ended up creating a intergenerational change within my family. All the past generations were super unhappy with their jobs, and I wanted to create a future for myself. So, my solution was to attend trade school. I ended up going to a local trade school called Westmec, and I decided to take upon the biomedical science profession. It's a 2-year course that lasted during your junior and senior year, and from there you would get certified as a biomedical technician. It's everything that I really wanted. It ultimately led me to my end goal, which is to become a cardiovascular sonographer, and it would allow me the experience that I need. But little did I know that I would have a few struggles earlier on within my first semester. That would include the lack of support I had from the people surrounding me, my fear of failure, and the workaholism that affected my balance and time management. So, as I moved further into my second semester, I immensely struggled with my coursework. I can argue that my trade school was harder than my college education. You have such a short period of time to truly learn all the information, not to mention be graded on your performance. So, putting into perspective the little time I had to retain everything, I couldn't execute it proficiently, which then led to my grades decreasing. Now, that's when my fear of failure really kicked in. So, I was already lacking motivation. I was really scared of failing, and I just didn't know what I was doing with this program. I just lost my purpose. It didn't help either that the pandemic caused everything to go online, March of 2019. I want you to imagine organic chemistry, microbiology, and other science classes online. It was so hard, and I struggled through it all. And I couldn't help but feel like I was in an endless cycle of unhappiness. I ended up writing my resignation papers, and I was about to walk into the office, but then got reminded of a warm memory that I started off with when I put my applications in: the white coat ceremony. It's equivalent to a diploma, and it shows that you were able to pass your base certification, which stands for Biotechnician Assistant Credentialing Exam. It is the accomplishment and the end goal. And I knew I would regret this course if I gave up now. So I put those papers aside and I continued to persevere through it all. Luckily, in my third semester, we went back in person in September of 2020, and I got the opportunity of a lifetime within trade school. I got an unpaid externship as a student, and I got to work in the laboratory setting. Not only was this incredible for experience, but it allowed me to have the exposure of understanding what I really liked. Although I really took it for granted, it really allowed me to diverse myself within the field and understand different aspects that made it different from what I expected. But I also took advantage of the fact this could help me prepare for my fourth semester. So now, moving into my fourth semester, I had the exam. I studied day and night from January to April to pass this test. Little did I know that due to those online stimulations, I wasn't prepared enough. I took the test to then find out the next day that I failed. I felt like embarrassed and humiliated. I couldn't face my peers or my teacher because I failed. And I wanted to give up. I didn't want to go back. But then I reminded myself of those resignation papers and knew I had to try one more time, despite feeling the way I did. I retook the test, and the day before the white coat ceremony, I passed. And I was so happy, and it was a triumph. But as I got my white coat put on me, I came to realize two people in the crowd that I wanted to be there weren't. My parents didn't show up because they didn't really support me. And that just broke my heart, and I completely set aside all of my accomplishments. Little did I know my instructor would be there to follow me through and help me understand some important lessons that I picked up on the way. First of all, good things don't come easy. I'm not going to sugarcoat. This program was very difficult, but I made it through, and I would recommend it for anyone. It helped me professionally, as a student, and as a person. Continuing, never fail to try more. I would have regretted a lot if I didn't finish this program. It taught me so much in the value of trying and failing and learning from your mistakes. And lastly, walk your own path. My instructor told me as I was walking out that I came into this program for myself. No one forced me to be here. I came here on my own, and I hope, if anything, you value your experiences and be yourself. Thank you so much.